Hello, my owl friends. Let's see, what do we have for you today? The owl, of course, is the element of air. Seems like I've had a lot of the element of air lately. Maybe I'm imagining things. All right, abundant, clairvoyant, treasures. The owl is a mysterious and otherworldly creature found in folklore from east to west. The white owl in this particular deck is the companion of the goddess Lakshmi and represents wealth, beauty, and good fortune. When the owl card appears, it's an omen that a boon or treasure is on the way, either in spiritual or material form. With owl wisdom on your side, you'll see and know exactly what to do with this boon, how it can further serve your dharma and bring abundance to the world. Trust that the wellspring of treasures is infinite. Perhaps you've overcome some scarcity mindset? Good for you. All right, when in balance, generous, trusting, secure. When out of balance, money quarrels, scarcity. To bring into balance, an offering. All right, so that is where you are at, perhaps, or where you are coming into. And the next 6 cards, of course, are to help you identify whether or not this reading is for you. The first one is Cup. You should accept valid criticism. The next one, the Shark, is a warning to take care or there will be a loss of material wealth. Now, Ladder, climbing to success. That's a good thing, of course. Tent, we have, that means a temporary situation. And on top of that, we have younger woman. So dealings or relationship with a younger woman, and the month of September. So perhaps the month of September has been significant or part of what has gone on with one of these cards, or it will be. All right. Now that we have that sorted out, let's see what the universe would like to say to you first. And I'm going to try not to take too many cards. I feel like it just muddies the waters after a while, rather than clarifying. But let's see what comes out for you. We have the bear. Perhaps you are a bear person and an owl bear person. Oops. Here we go. One more card. There we go. All right, so we have the bear. So this is very much someone who can be a boss, can be protective, a mama bear, perhaps. So strong, large, physical attributes. But I'm really getting boss, someone who is willing to take charge and do the work this broom suggests. Remove unwanted stuff, to get rid of junk, clearing things out. Now, the torch, I frequently see this as revolution, dark to light, some sort of change. But what's coming out to me today most strongly is standing up for truth. And perhaps that's what's going on with this clearing out of the old stuff, is that in order for you to stand up for some truth, you have to get rid of all the stuff that is compromising that truth. The next line, we have loons, deeply committed. Family, manifesting deepest desires, all in for what you love, reawakening lost hopes. And then we have timing. Unstoppable. Time is unstoppable. It keeps on going. And then I think there's something new that wants to be established. So the commitment is there. The timing, I'm not sure of. All this clearing out has to take place first. This truth needs attention, needs to be tended. And then we have the possibility of something new. Comfort, safety, a family, traditions. But getting there is going to take some work. And patience. The timing is not entirely in your hands, whatever it is. It never is it? So, what is your primary concern? So we have stagnation, but this is in the sideways position, so it is a crossing influence. It is blocking perhaps all of this, but it's kind of like, I see cards that are in a crossing position as kind of in a seesaw. They're not fixed. So the meaning, you really need to look at the meaning in reverse as well as the meaning in the upright and consider how they are playing out. So you may be feeling very stuck right now, but it is not fully upright, not fully reversed. So it may be changing. Change may be coming to your stagnation. Kind of the opposite of stagnation, isn't it? So you had more swords. My goodness, it's all swords for you. So you have been stuck, you are feeling stuck, but that may be loosening up. It may be changing. Of course. So if you're too stuck, then you get a tower that will break you free. But here we have the Eight of Swords. If there has been a tower, it's been an internal one, because the Eight of Swords is about breaking free of your mental prison. And, well, when it's in reverse, you're seeing things differently. You're understanding that the things that have been holding you prisoner, stuck, holding you still, are ideas. They're not physical. And they can be changed. And then you have the Six of Swords. So the Six of Swords can be about moving from a more troubled situation into calmer waters. It's usually not about running away in an irresponsible sense. In fact, it's frequently pictures a woman and a child in a boat. So it's definitely, there's definitely a sense of responsibility. It's not just dropping everything and taking off regardless of the consequences. However, this Six of Swords is in a crossing position. So you may be having a sense of, do I stay or do I go? And a sense of indecision, but also being haunted by what could be. Haunted by your own decisions, perhaps. Sorry, my stomach is rumbling. All right. So I think this is a major arcana. So I think this is the big issue for you, and that is the status quo. The Hierophant in reverse on top of the Eight of Swords, also in reverse. But where this is seeing that you are stuck or you have allowed yourself to be trapped or caged by ideas that are just ideas. They can be changed. They are not fixed. They are not cast in stone. But at the same time, we have the Hierophant. The idea that of maintaining the status quo at all costs, whether it's healthy or not. That's probably why there's so much indecision about the Six of Swords. Do you stay or do you go? Do you stay in the status quo? Do you leave it behind and do something different? I did a Chinese fortune stick reading today which talked about this. It talked about you can't change your birthday. You can't change the family you were born into, but you can change yourself. You can change the things about yourself that you don't like, or you can choose not to. And call it fate when in reality it's your choice. This is very odd coming up with the owl. I find there's a lot of disparity lately between the significators and the messages. Perhaps the significators are more about your potential than about your current reality. So, I believe you do have a great deal of concern for abundance, treasures. But your idea of what treasures are is perhaps changing. In any case, the other thing that comes up with the owl person is your dharma. So, let's talk about that for a minute. So your dharma is your purpose, why you came to this world, what you are meant to be doing, and how that will enrich the world, not just yourself. So you're starting off with Temperance. You're starting off with a major arcana of balance between your spiritual life and your material life, and also this is a card of miracles. I sometimes forget this, but Temperance usually pictures a liquid being poured from one cup to another cup. But unlike the liquid of this material world, which always flows straight down wherever down is, this liquid flows at an angle, indicating that miracles are possible. Perhaps you haven't believed in miracles. Perhaps you don't believe in doing things that society in general says are impossible. And Temperance is here to remind you that all things are possible. Perhaps you've been struggling with addiction. That can feel pretty impossible to deal with. But notice I said feel, not that it is impossible to deal with. Many people have. Oh my goodness, I don't believe it. The Emperor, really? Okay. Oh my gosh. The Emperor and the Lovers. Oh my goodness. This is all major arcana. So the Emperor is in control of himself or their self. And it is through their consistency and commitment to being the best person that they can be that they lead others. And that is true leadership. Oh, we have protection. Oh, this is my Queen of Wands card for this deck. It's, the Queen of Wands can be described as water in fire, the watery aspect of fire. So I find this card to be particularly appropriate because this is a very fiery looking jellyfish. And of course the Queen of Wands is passionate, warm, caring, charming, fun. The life of the party in a more nurturing kind of way. But we also have the Four of Swords here, so it's interesting. We have an Emperor and we have a Queen of Wands. And the Lovers. This is looking a lot like a soul connection. But there is still this need for healing. As there usually is in a soul connection. It's interesting because I'm really wondering if this is the same person. Queen of Wands and the Emperor. We all have to embody all of these energies to be a really fully realized human being. And that's how I see the tarot, as bringing about a fully realized human being, as a journey to that fully realized human being. So each card applies to everyone sooner or later in different ways. So I asked if this is the same person, this Emperor and this Queen of Wands, and I got the Queen of Swords. Which doesn't really answer my question. Although it's interesting, we've got two queens out here. Somebody's dealing with a lot of anxiety. Now, there are two ways to look at this, because of course it is in a crossing position, and now we have a Knight of Cups. Perhaps both people in this connection need to work on their consistency, their self-discipline, their commitment to their self. When you are fully committed to yourself, to being your best possible self, or at least being a better version of yourself, that changes the way other people see you and react to you. It brings about an authenticity and a sense of center, of balance, because if you are fully committed to yourself, that gives you a strength and a rootedness, a groundedness that really changes your life. So this Knight of Cups, I do not see as having that sort of commitment to the self, this rootedness, this groundedness. I do see the Queen of Cups as having that. Did I say Queen of Cups? I meant Queen of Swords. This is the Queen of Swords. That's odd. All right, Nine of Swords. We were talking about that. So there's still issues with anxiety, fear. Now, the thing about the Nine of Swords is, in the upright, the fears are not real, mostly. They're just imaginings, they're anxieties. But if the Nine of Swords is in reverse, then it is possible that you have put so much energy into these fears that they are becoming real. People forget that you can manifest negative things as well as positive things. And that is how you do it. You put so much energy and emotion into them that they become real. Anyone can be anxious, of course. But I'm a little puzzled that this Queen of Swords does not look anxious. But we have the Emperor and the Lovers over this connection. So there's still a lot of healing to be done. And perhaps this Queen of Wands is protecting this connection. Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands, Nine of Swords. So definitely an element of fatigue, of feeling beat up by this whole situation. Not surprising. Soul connections are very hard to handle. They will beat the crap out of you in an effort to get you to grow and change and become, but also to allow and accept, to be open in ways you haven't been before, which can be the most challenging part. So the Knight of Cups is overly romantic. They don't have a lot of depth of emotion, honestly. When things start to get serious, when things start to get deep, they take off. Now we have the Knight of Swords in reverse. Perhaps this is another aspect of the Knight of Cups. It may be that they have, they can be overly romantic, and then they can snap and become quite harsh, critical. In addition to flying away quickly, they are quite unpleasant on the way out the door. Maybe argumentative, maybe just really insulting and harsh. Using words as a weapon. And not thinking things through. I didn't see this before. Oh my gosh. So this was hiding on the floor. The Knight of Wands. So we've got 3 knights here. I think this is all one person. And they've really screwed things up. They want to come in like the Knight of Wands because the Knight of Wands is passionate and brave. However, they are not grounded either. The Knight of Pentacles is not shown up here. So the Three of Wands here is a lack of vision, a lack of perspective. Is this who you are, the owl person? So you have an environment of community that is not supportive of change, because we had all that stuff about changing the status quo, which also this card is about that as well. So you're really struggling with your current situation because this is also different and confronting and demanding, and you have an enormous amount of work to do. The Tower in reverse tried to come out for you. Judgment. Yeah, you're being called to make a great deal of change, and it's going to require a great deal of persistent effort. Sometimes it's going to be tedious. It's definitely going to require just a lot of time, a lot of commitment. The Knights are about passing situations as well. They are not about commitment. And you had 3 Knights come out. So I can see where maybe you want to become the Emperor, and you are working on 3 of your elements at least. I can't believe it. Okay, sure. The Hierophant came out again, and sorry, it came out like in a crossing position. So again, that status quo is just, that's where your great challenge lies. Oh, there it is. Okay. It meant it. It said it's coming. I'm coming out. I don't care what you think. I don't care what you want. It is time for change. So on the positive side, this is internal change. We also had the 8 of Swords in reverse, which is consistent with this, confirming this, or they're confirming each other. A Tower in the upright would be your external world crumbling around you. That's why I said this is sort of a positive note. Right now, the change is confined to inside you. And this is not easy. Internal change is very demanding. and it does eventually become external change. It lays the groundwork for external change. So, there you have it. So much change coming for you. And so much work ahead of you. All right. I am wishing you all the best. I am impressed that you're watching a tarot reading because it suggests an openness to change that I don't expect in Knights, honestly. I am wishing you all the best. It will get better.